Interestingly, I graduated from the University of Wisconsin. I got a master's and left there to go back to my roots on Williamson Street, where I had my first studio at 1020 Williamson Street called the Unicorn Forest, which I named because I didn't even know at the time, but really interested in the spiritual aspects of life and really had no guidance, but started delving into those roots. But the University of Wisconsin left a taste in my mouth for institutionalized art. And Williamson Street represented where I grew up, spent a lot of time, had my first studio, represented something that was much more real than the institutional ivory tower art department at the University of Wisconsin. And in the process of making that transition, a wild idea occurred just through conversation with friends to do a fashion show at St Vincent de Paul. And doing that fashion show was significant in that I was able to bring together the notion of art as experience, as part of life, by using St Vincent de Paul and people literally off the street, people that were artists and people who weren't artists, all coming together to create a one-day event that was inspirational, but I think filled my cup with what I considered something more real than the experience of the institutional art. And it's from that experience that the evolution into things like the Willy Street Fair and all kinds of other things that happened on Williamson Street in the 70s evolved from that premise, where art as an inspirational, creative, and sometimes even spontaneous event that is closely connected to life could happen amongst real people. And if, a lot of it turned out to be bad art, had to listen to bad poetry and watch bad plays and all of that, but that never was relevant to me because truly creative art is always got the potential for failure. And if you eliminate the potential for failure, then you have institutional art. There's no sense of wanting to fail if you're in an institution. You learn how to do your job. It's just a job. And there's not that much creative about it. So those are the roots for my need and desire to find a truly creative place and way of being an artist. So we did a lot of wonderful, exciting things. Some of it failed, some of it was terrible, some of it was great. That's what creativity is about, that's what art is about. And I guess it was just my willingness to make that transition from that institutional art where I hadn't been trained. I had thought that I shouldn't be an artist for some reason as I was growing up, so I was never trained as a young person. So when I decided to go back to school in art, I didn't have a background as a kid in terms of learning about making art. So after my experience at the university, I wanted the freedom to explore and create without any rules, without any limitations, without any boundaries. I wanted to see what those boundaries could be from a place of freedom.